my English. It's okay.
Yeah, no problem at all. So, Cindy, thank you very much for coming on the show. How are you
No
doing?
problem. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Awesome.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm just been busy doing a lot of media work, pretty much, just getting lots of chats in and doing my research and just kind of keeping busy as much as possible. Not as busy as yourself, of course.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah.
So we're a few days removed from your debut in the PFL 3, the kind of first season that you've been a part of. How do you feel about that overall?
That I'm doing my debut.
Yeah, that you're doing your debut, but you're doing it in the PFL.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited to be able to fight at my own weight class. No cuts, no unhealthy situations. Just train, go out there, and and have fun. Do what I love. Follow my dreams.
Awesome. How's Atlantic City then? Is that the first time you've been there?
Again?
How is New Jersey?
Well, it's the first time I've been here, but I've not really been here because we are locked in our room and we are not allowed to leave the hotel. We only can go on the balcony, so I cannot say much about how great it is because I didn't see how great it is.
Mm-hmm. I suppose, but I mean, hopefully when this is all said and done, you can go back as a tourist like the rest of it and fully get to enjoy it.
No, after this fight, I'm flying to Washington, Spokane, yeah, to train there. I'm not staying here because I don't know any gym or any people here, so that doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to train at the gym of Rick Little, Sikh Jitsu.
Yep, no, that's awesome. Spokane, Washington, a great place. Is that where Misha Tate's been training as well? Is that right?
No, that's where Juliana Peña is coming from, and Michael Chiesa, San Cecilia.
Okay.
That is the place.
Awesome. So we'll just kind of revert back there. So before COVID hit, you had a very, very active 2019. You had 5 fights across the world, 4-fight win streak. When you got over that last fight, before COVID hit, what were your plans at that point before the world changed?
Well, my plans were to fight for PFL, but last year, because of COVID, everything got pushed back. Then I got pregnant, and I was like, well, then I'm going to take this layoff to spend time with my mom, who was very sick that time. And we pushed our limits to give birth to my baby together. Yeah, the plans were fighting in PFL last year, April, but circumstances and God said something else. So, yeah.
It happens. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, certainly in the case of pregnancy and stuff, it's unplanned, is it? It's just one of these things that happen and you've just got to kind of work around it and just go with the flow pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So with the lockdown, so just kind of reverting back to the lockdown, so we know that a big part of the lockdown, certainly for everybody, was the isolation. So as a fighter, you spent predominantly a lot of time in the gym. How did it impact your ability to train and prepare for your fights without having the gym open?
So you ask how I managed to train without having gyms open?
Yeah.
It was tricky. I had to be sneakily in my own gym. We trained behind closed door. I had to ask training partners to come over. I had to ask other pro fighters to come over and train with me behind closed doors. There were no normal classes. Gyms weren't open in Belgium, nor in Germany, nor in Holland. So that was very hard because normally I go and train in Holland with Bert Kops or with Days Gym. That was not possible now. So I had to find people to come to my gym, close the door and train with me behind locked doors.
And how did that work? Did that work well for a significant amount of time?
Well, I trained twice a day. In the daytime, my coach, Carlos Schram, would work with me apart, technical stuff, repetition of stuff, getting back in shape, strength, conditioning, that kind of stuff. And in the evening, because people still had to, the thing is, everything was closed, but they still had to work. After work, they would come to the gym and we would train like apart.
Awesome. So one thing that stuck out for me a lot for you, so I've followed your career for some time now. Now the thing is, if you were to go through your resume, you fought in a lot of different places and a lot of different organizations, many of the best. Was there a reason behind such a different flow of organizations?
I think like in Belgium, you don't get that much opportunity. So I just took every fight. I never like said no to fights, hard fights, last minute fights. Mm-hmm. I took fights literally the day itself. So I fought different organizations, but I also took the risks to get there. Yeah. So I think I deserved to get those chances. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, I understand, like I'm mostly a grappler. That's not what everybody wants to see. I'm not like a stand and banger, and that's not what everybody wants to see. So maybe that made me go a little from one organization to another. And also the weight classes, 135, for example, is very hard to make. Mm-hmm. I don't perform at my best there, but I never missed weight. So yeah, I think just the circumstances that made me go from one to another place. Yep.
And did you feel then, so because you were always ready, in that sense, a lot more than a lot of fighters can be, do you feel that you got respect for that? Do you feel that people appreciated that, or did people think that that was perhaps a bit of a big risk?
It's a big risk. It's always a big risk to just go out there and fight. But I think haters are going to hate. There will always be haters. I had many haters, but I always took risks in my life with everything. If I have a difficult time, I will handle my situation on my own way, and they can talk whatever they want. But at the end of the day, I'm still doing it. And some people appreciate me for me, and some don't. And I think that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yep, it is. And I mean, you're living the dream essentially. You're doing what you set out to do. So at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. If haters are going to hate, that's up to them. That's their lives if they want to spend their time dwelling on stuff like that. Now, I just wanted to ask, so do you feel being in so many different organizations and being in different environments across the world, do you feel that you have an advantage over other fighters for being able to experience that?
I think so. I know for myself that I don't crash under big lies. I'm not a victim of pressure. That I know. But I know for Caitlin that's the same. She's been fighting all over the world. She's been fighting on the big banners too. So that is not such a big difference. That's just nice that we can go out there and give the best of ourselves.
No, that's awesome. That's precisely the narrative going into the fight, is that you've got two seasoned veterans. You've got a knockout artist if we're going by a record, and then you've got your very illustrious grappling record. So I think it's going to be brilliant, and certainly it's going to be under the PFL lights. So how did the PFL come together? Like, how did you get into the PFL?
Well, at one point I was like, I fought different organizations. I wasn't always treated very well. I know Ray Sefo. I know he's a very good guy, and I saw they had like 155, and that's healthy, and I didn't want to make those crazy cuts anymore because it's not good for your body, and I couldn't perform like the 100%. So I just told him like, hey, I fought 155 before. I feel way better there. And he gave me this opportunity. He gave me this chance. So I'm happy.
Awesome. So what kind of brought you here? So besides the weight class, was it the tournament structure, the very big prize at the end in terms of the cash and money, or was it the belt?
The thing is, like, okay, I have a family to raise. Like, I pay the bills at home, so of course the money is something nice. But at the end, it's not about money; it's about legacy. It's, it's like I'm building my legacy. I'm writing my final chapter in my sport, the thing I've been doing for years. And after I'm going to retire, so I just want to do it right. And I think this tournament is a fair place. No friendship things or no like he likes this better, like that better. No, just fair. If you score your points, you're going through. If you don't score your points, you're staying behind. And I like that. I like that. It reminds me of my old judo days where you just have to like go step by step, and the best two will fight for the title.
No, I think it's a very unique perspective, and certainly the way that certainly across in the kind of West world, the way that we're used to it, we're not used to that type of stuff. So it's good to be able to get exposed to that as well. So how did you feel when you got matched up with Caitlin? How did you feel immediately? Did you feel like this is great, this is a good opportunity? Do you see any holes in her game?
I was happy when I saw it was Caitlin because we were supposed to fight each other already, and because of visa issues, the fight got cancelled. So yeah, I felt that was something that still needed to happen. So that was very good. And I think that Caitlin is strong where I'm weaker, and she's weaker where I'm strong. So the holes in her game are probably the place where I'm stronger and other turnaround. So that makes it interesting because it will depend on who can get it where she wants. So yeah, I think that's if I have to say one weakness, like something where I'm better, that will be the ground. That's what I expect.
Yeah, that's where it is. It's a kind of classic striker v grappler. So what would it mean? What would it mean for you to win the tournament then? Like all the hard work that you've kind of put into your career at this stage. Now you're here. You're under the big lights of the PFL. Do you think if you were to win the tournament, do you think you'd call it a day?
What it would mean for me if I win the tournament?
Yeah, like if you win the tournament. So if we go into the long career that you've had and the experience, do you think if you were to get through and win the tournament, do you think that you would retire then?
Yes, I'm 100% sure I'm going to retire after my PFL run. I promised my mom to put everything out there and do the best I can for this tournament and for this opportunity. But I also promised that after this, I will put down my gloves and focus on my family and my daughter's career and on the qualities that children have and give them as much support as I can. I made this promise to my mother and I intend to keep it.
Well, I mean, at the age that you're at now, I mean, you're still very young in the sense that you've given so much to this career, but you've still got such a wide career that you can go into. You've still got many more chapters to get. So I think that's a great way to kind of sign out of the career that you've dedicated to for so long. So that's awesome. Misha Tate's just announced a return to the sport. Have you managed to catch up with Misha and get some information on her bout?
Yes, of course. Of course, I talked to Misha. I think we can expect a different Misha. I think becoming a mother made her way stronger than she ever was, and I expect a crazy win. I think mommy powers are something people will never understand until they have kids and they know what they're fighting for. And Misha has that now. So she's such a great mom, so loving, so caring. I think it will make her like even a better fighter.
Yeah, she certainly sounds like she's kind of accepted the position she's in now. She wants to come back to it. She sounds confident and she sounds good to go. So that's awesome. Did she give you any kind of good advice coming into this fight?
Yeah. You know what? Between Misha, it's not about advice. It's just like we have this love. Like I love Misha a lot, and it's not like I know she will always support me. I think she's more like she's been here like more like comforting me because I went through a very hard time, and just having that kind of support for her is way more important than good advice. You know.
It's always most important when we're talking about the reality of life, kind of outside the octagon and that. So that's awesome to hear. Now, we've got another fighter on the card. Very big hype around her, Kayla Harrison. What do you think of Kayla Harrison when you watch her?
I think she has great power. I think her judo is great. I think she's a great fighter. I cannot say something negative about her. Actually, I also hear she had like rough times in her life, and I went to almost the same situation also as a child, and I just respect her for that. And I think she's like a fighter in life and a fighter in the cage, and yeah, only respect. That's all that I can give her.
Yeah, no, I think that as well. Now, if we were to kind of turn it on the other foot, do you see, if you were to ever fight her, do you see any ways that you can capitalize on the game that she brings to win?
Well, I think people always still underestimate my grappling. Um, I think she might make that mistake, but if I will fight her, if I get matched up against her, I will for sure let my coach take a look at her and let him plan the game plan because I trust him completely, and I think he just sees way more than I see. So as long as I'm not matched up, I'm not looking at that. But the moment I get matched up against her, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Carlos, take a look. What are we going to do?"
I think that'd be a very exciting fight. Like I said, I've seen your grappling, I've seen what she can do with her judo. You've got a judo background as well, so I think it kind of promises for a really exciting fight. So, thank you for that. Now we've got a couple of days away. We've got Thursday. We've got your PFL debut. You're fighting a vet in her own right. We're looking forward to it. The stakes are high. Me and the world are going to be watching. So I just want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate you taking time, certainly in this busy fight week that you've got going on. And I hope that we get to catch up with you again another time after the fight.
For sure, that will work out. No problem. And I'm in the States, so should be no problem.
Awesome. Well, good luck and best of luck for Thursday, all right?
Okay, bye bye.